Welcome everyone to our webinar today. Thank you for taking time from your busy lives to be with us and find out more about the Global Flex Online MBA. The goal of this webinar is to answer as many questions as we can about the program or about MSM. So let's get started. First of all, a quick round of introductions. I am Alina, the recruitment officer for the Global Flex Online MBA, and my role is mainly to advise before and during the application process. And today, alongside Mirjana, we are our host. Mirjana, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Alina, thank you very much. My name is Mirjana Stanisic. I am a faculty member of Maastricht School of Management, but also academic coordinator of the Global Flex Online MBA program. So I am, let's say, more engaged with all the students when they start their program, but my engagement starts also a bit before, because I am the one also connected to a number of the faculty members engaged in the program, also adjusting the curriculum and of course having some meetings with the students as well. So I am the one, let's say, somewhere in between the operational part, for which we have officers, but also academic part when it comes to syllabus, curriculum, and the quality of the program from the academic side.
Thank you so much. All right, we can move on to the presentation part. When it comes to the agenda, we will try to give you a bit more information about the MSM and the program. You'll also be able to see how the online learning environment looks like, and we will talk about the application process. If we didn't answer some of your questions, feel free to add them in the Q&A box. So not in the comment box, but the Q&A, it's just easier for us to answer quickly. All right. A bit more information about MSM. MSM is one of the oldest schools in the Netherlands, is part of Maastricht University and the School of Business and Economics. It has quite a diverse cohort. We have registered 90 plus nationalities since 2018. When it comes to the teaching method, it's quite hands-on. So basically, our main goal is for you to use your experience in the classroom and also to apply what you learn at MSM outside of the classroom in the business environment. And then we are also following market trends. Mainly, we do focus on sustainability, digital transformation, and innovation. And we have quite an extensive global network. We also have expertise tracks, which we will talk a bit later about. And the university offers you a Triple Crown accreditation. 1% of business schools in the world have this type of accreditation. Global Flex Online MBA at a glance. Of course, we will go into details a bit later in the presentation. Good to know it's fully taught in English. It takes between 2 and 4 years to complete, and it's part-time. And we do have 3 intakes. So the next intake is in May, and then followed by August, and now, and then the 3rd one is in January. So then the January intake is already ongoing at the moment. One of the most common questions that we get is, what does the class profile look like? So first of all, I would like to touch upon eligibility. So to actually apply for the Global Flex, you need a bachelor degree and over 3-4 years of work experience. Otherwise, we do invite people from different backgrounds and career profiles and nationalities. So to give you a bit more insight, when it comes to the classroom we have now that started in January, we have 12 nationalities. It's quite balanced when it comes to female and male in the classroom, and on average of work experiences like 10 years. And we have different job areas. People come from different industry. It can be engineering or sales or even entrepreneurship. Another question that we will try to answer is if MSM provides any career services. The answer is yes, of course, because it's the online environment, the workshops on career development and so on can be mainly organized online. Also for people that are living in the Netherlands, they can participate to some of the workshops face-to-face if they want to travel to MSM. And we do have an extensive alumni network that you can have access to. When it comes to teaching method, is a case-based learning methodology, which means that in the classroom you will have this collaborative approach, a lot of discussions, a lot of assignments that you need to figure out together. So then this is what I previously mentioned, that it's very important that you apply in the real world what you learn in an MBA program. One of the biggest questions regarding the program, what is the tuition fee? It's 28,500 euros, and you will also have an additional cost of 95 euros when you apply. And we do offer scholarships of up to 20%. And how it works is that we do have multiple scholarships that, depending on your background, you can apply for. And the more scholarships you apply for, the better, and then you can get the maximum of 20% partial scholarship. And you can always send me your CV, and then we can figure out together what are the best scholarships for you. When it comes to your application, you will also need an English a language test. If you previously studied in English, you can apply without, but if you didn't study in English, then you need to complete, let's say, an IELTS or a TOEFL. There are all the language requirements are displayed on the website, or I can also help you with that. When in doubt, just let us know and we can check that together. Moving on, we will talk a bit more about the program structure, and I would like to invite Mirjana to present a bit more.
Alina, thank you very much. Well, indeed, after trying to answer a couple of questions appearing in that blue bubble on the slide that we received already from you, I would continue with trying to explain also how the program structure looks alike and what you might expect as a future student. We hope, of course, that you will be joining the program, what you could expect in terms of the structure, how it looks alike, what is the time needed, and etc., etc. So I think we can go to a next slide. Mm-hmm. Well, as many students would say, okay, but what are the topics that we are learning and how everything looks alike? I mean, for the MBA program, which is exactly curriculum and syllabus the same as the face-to-face or let's say on-campus program, we are covering 14 different subjects with 4 additional actually 2 specialization themes, which are connected. We call them the expertise tracks that are also happening or online, or it will be on campus, but I will come to that a bit later. As you can see, we are offering a program starting in May, but I have to say that it's developed as a type of the carousel model that we already started in January with a number of courses. Then we are opening possibility for students to join the current group as of May. You see it's accounting for managers and then finance and then other courses further on, while we have also opening for another group of the students again joining the present group later on in September. So the group actually it's growing, let's say, which is of course very nice because you are able to team up with the new students in the group, but also to share the knowledge and experience with the students that already started. Of course, you continue your path while some of them would be able to finish that before even you come to an end. When it comes to the enrollment into the course, of course, when you can see here that we have a different tracks. One track is connected to a live online track, as called, where you are, as a student, choosing to attend all the Zoom sessions with the lectures, and I will come back to that and explain. Or there will be a moment in the program when you would appreciate to have some courses actually not attending the Zoom sessions, to have them more self-paced. If we go to the next slide, I will just like to, when we talk about the syllabus itself, you can see also here the number of the expertise tracks, as we usually call them specializations, but I think we are coming back to specializations. So actually, those are a couple of courses that you will follow, but not necessarily towards the end of your MBA program, because in the current Global Flex online MBA program, the expertise track is a really integral part of your syllabus. So I think the group, even joining now in May, we have a first specialization track or expertise tracks already planned for November, December this year with the 2 courses, and then in 2025. However, for now, because we are rather a new program, let's say on this modality, exactly, we developed only one track on sustainable business in the global economy online, which is available for all the participants. However, we offer to all the participants of the Global Flex Online MBA program, but also all the other participants from the other modalities, from the face-to-face MBA, from all the partner MBA students, and we have them in some countries, to join on-campus specializations that are taking place in June, last 2 weeks of June each year. Well, the group that started or will start this year with the Global Online MBA, and maybe you as a prospective candidate from May or for September would be able to join on campus if you decide, of course, specialization or expertise tracks in June 2025. Unless you follow the one online, which is already integrated in the syllabus. So that's a choice, but of course, that's more nice to know now, because we also think it's a very nice moment for a number of participants, even if they are in the other MBA programs, but of course online as well, to come and join the classes that are face-to-face, because that gives also a possibility to team up with some other participants from another country, or maybe even the country you come from, and also enjoy the face-to-face, fully face-to-face teaching experience. If you go to a next slide, I think there was a question related to the course, to the how can I and when can I access the course, and do I need to prepare in advance? So that's always a very interesting question when it comes to preparations, of course. Well, first, I think it's important to emphasize that we use Canvas as the environment for the online program, Global Flex Online program, where everything is happening. So, of course, there is a possibility to enter the course before the course is actually taking place, because before the official start, and that we allow to all the students 1 month in advance. So 1 month before the course starts, actually 4 weeks, you're able to come into the environment of that course and also read the welcome message. I think it's displayed here how that looks like, to read the welcome message, to see what are the learning objectives and how you will be assessed, to read about how to study the course, what is planned for that course, let's say. And also we offer a possibility to all participants to do the quiz, which we always encourage. It's very nice for the lecturers also to know what the students already know. So what I already know in order to start the course. It's a maybe orientation for yourself, but also you have an ability to ask the questions for the kickoff session, for the first Zoom session you would have with the lecturer. I will explain that in a minute. To ask, maybe you would like to ask something, maybe you are missing a topic, maybe you would like to know more about a certain topic. So that all is possible before the official start of the course. Do you have to prepare in advance? Well, I have to say with some courses, there is a bit of a reading. So I'm not going to say no completely. Normally, we announce, or the lecturer sends some days before the course, he or she would send a message to all the students if there is a need to read some article, or maybe to watch some video, or maybe to answer some questions. But that's not happening on all courses. So that's a very, let's say, a small amount of work in advance, because we also, of course, know that once when you start with the first course, you have a time before the course. But when the course is started, when you have to do your assignments and everything else, of course, it's always a bit less time for all kind of those preparations. But indeed, it can happen that sometimes you would need to prepare something, but of course, it's announced on time. If we can go to a next slide, I think I can explain. Well, this is a bit of an outlook how the dashboard looks like. Of course, you start with one course, and then they start popping up on your dashboard at the moment when the new course is open, and you can already come to it and you can already watch. Maybe it would be very good just to emphasize one thing, that the courses, next to the fact that all the courses are the same, so the syllabus is exactly the same, I think it's very important to know that the structure of the courses that you would be attending, or the structure of the Global Flex Online MBA program, is greatly reflecting what we do in the classroom as well, because we follow the same syllabus. That also means that we have, of course, some adjusted exercises, but the whole structure of having 4 modules, so each course takes 4 modules, it's equal to 4 days teaching in the classroom. So one module of 1 week, where you would follow as an online student, is equal to 1 day face-to-face teaching. So the topics are the same, and of course the assessment is exactly the same. And I think that's also showing how much we really link all the topics and also the curriculum itself within different modalities, let's say. If we go to the next slide, I think it's also connected to a question what we can expect to go throughout the week, and how the whole organization of the course, let's say, looks alike. Here it's just a snapshot of one module. As I mentioned, one module is actually 1 week. And why it's 1 week? Because, well, we know that most of our participants, as Alina also mentioned, are working executives. And of course, they have a limited time for reading, and there are maybe some gaps throughout the day during the lunch, or maybe at evening when the whole family is quiet. So there is a moment of reading and reflecting a bit on the topics. So we organized the complete the framework of this program. Actually, it's based on 4 modules. That's a 4 weeks duration. One module is equal to 1 week. And we usually cover 1 to 2 topics, even sometimes 3, but depends, of course, on the course. Usually it's 2 topics where we provide the information about the topic. We give students a bit of a kickoff, like would say, activate your knowledge. Yeah? So you are able to read something about the topic, and of course it's connected to certain chapters from the book, or certain articles that's already nicely written there. Then you go to a second topic, you can activate your knowledge, but again, watching a certain video. We give you an opportunity to reflect with a certain exercise, and of course to apply through application activity, through quizzes as well, to also check your knowledge on that certain topic. All those elements that I mentioned are for 1 week. And of course, it would be rather boring to do it very asynchronous, to do it all alone. Well, it can be, that's why we did add 2 Zoom sessions per week between 7 and 9 at evening on Mondays and Thursdays. We have lectures that are there to cover exactly that topic 1, and then you have time to reflect, time to activate your knowledge, time to read in between. And then again, on Thursday evening from 7 to 9, you again have a possibility to join the class and to talk with your students, to your colleagues, to listen a bit of the topic, some explanations, some, I would not say teaching, it's more facilitation of the topic, but also to do some group exercises, and also really to try to apply a bit more vividly than only reading and doing exercises which are there. So it's really guided process of learning, let's say. Yeah, that, as Alina also mentioned, there is a collaboration with your students that are in the same class, and also a possibility to talk with the lecturer, to interact with the lecturers through the Zoom sessions. So this is what you're expected to do throughout the week. Beside the asynchronous, so individual approach to a certain topics, that you have a flexibility to learn and to read whenever you have time that week. Of course, you are joining the Zoom sessions, which are not recorded. Coming back to this question that we have here, and we are not able to record it because of the privacy issues. It's connected to university rules and regulations here in the Netherlands. So if you miss a session, yeah, you have to team up with your colleagues. And of course, we hope that you would be able to join most, or if not all, at least 75% of it. And if you really have to join to escape or skip couple of throughout the course, there is a lecturer to guide you through maybe some additional assignments, because you will have to catch up on all the exercises that you had throughout that process. So I hope this is rather clear, because it's not always very easy to explain all the details. So this is just an example of a module 1, and we have exactly the same structure, module 1, 2, 3, and 4. And maybe if you can go to the next slide. Yeah, how we are assessed. So you go throughout the process, and of course you are paying attention very good, and you're reading your chapters, you are interacting with your colleagues 2 times a week with the lecturer as well. There is also a moment of assessment. And I think what is very important is that we have alignment, again, between what we do in the class and what we do here in the Global Flex Online MBA, is that we have individual assignment, which is, of course, in the end, after 4 weeks of your study, you will have to do individual assignment. It's a 70% of the total grade, and it's exactly the same assignment we have in all our other places, MBAs and with other partners. But in order to, let's say, keep you more on board, we like to engage students also throughout the 4 weeks. That's why we developed a midterm, or actually what we would say a case study assignment, which is taking place after your 2nd week. And why we do that? I mean, that's something I have to say what we learned from the previous students, and we did receive a feedback from them. It's also very good to keep you on board, because if we leave you 4 weeks to just join the Zoom sessions to practice things without really motivating yourself to apply even more, maybe it will fade away, especially after a couple of courses. After you go deeper in the program, then of course life happens, and then the mood goes also up and down a bit. And that's why we also ask students after 2nd week to have one smaller assignment covering the topics that you did go through on the half of your program, which of course will help you greatly when you do the individual assignments, because you already have some knowledge that you applied throughout the program. All the other exercises, reflection, application, quizzes, group activities that you have with the lecturer, and also within the group itself, are not assessed. So the assessment is really purely connected on the individual level. Now, if we go to the next slide, I think there was another question about using the materials, of course. If you can see here, there is a bit of a snapshot. I think it's one of the courses. I don't know which one. I believe this is strategy. Yeah, I think. Anyway, number of courses we use the books. And the books, of course, it's explained, and we guide you throughout the process which chapters you need to read, which part of the course during which module, but also we use articles. In this case, for this course, essential reading is connected only to the materials that are available through the online library. So when we use the articles, academic articles, then they are available through online library. Of course, you get an access to many others, including those. Otherwise, if you use a book, you will have to purchase the book yourself, unless we have that book online available through the library. But again, that's something that you know way in advance. When it comes to purchase, we leave to ability to students to choose whether they would like to have the hard copy book. So normally the purchase is available, it's widely available, let's say, whether it will be the online book, because all the books are available online, of course, in the online format, let's say, but also you can choose a hard copy of the book if you prefer. So we leave it to the students to purchase them, and we usually provide the handy links so they know where they could search for the books if they want to buy them. Next slide. Let's see if we have, there are no more questions on this. Okay, I don't know, did I miss something? Maybe we can see it in some questions if they come. I believe we have some things to explain as well. So think about what I explained so far. Maybe you will come with a question, so please write it down in a Q&A so we can also reflect to it when we finish. So Lina, please, I think you can talk a bit about application process.
Yes, thank you. Okay, moving on to the application process. It's quite straightforward, I would say. We normally have an MSM portal where you can already start an application as a draft, and then you have certain fields that you need to complete. It's quite easy to use as well. And normally the documents that you need to gather for the applications are your CV, your diploma, proof of English, ID, and 2 professional recommendations and a motivation letter. So you need to pay attention and carefully gather all the documents. I would say that there are some you need to reflect on as well. For example, the personalized motivation letter. I would say this is one of the most important parts of your application, because it's who you are, describing who you are outside of your CV and your diplomas and so on. And the admission board pays a lot of attention to the motivation letter. So all in all, when you are ready to submit your application, I am also happy to go through all the documents, and also make sure to also select certain scholarships that you want to go for, and make sure your application process runs as smoothly as possible. Once you uploaded all the documents in the portal, you need to submit. For that, you also need to pay an application fee. And then once you submitted, the admission team will review all your documents, and you will be invited for an interview. And normally the whole application process lasts between 3 weeks and a month. And if you are admitted, you will receive an admission letter from the admission board. Another big question that we had was regarding whether you need a GMAT or a GRE. Normally, when you apply for a business school, the school requires a GMAT or a GRE certificate. With MSM, it is we do accept it, if you already have it, but it is not mandatory when applying for the Global Flex Online MBA, mostly because we have decided to create our own in-house preparatory courses. So it's very similar to the GMAT and the GRE, but it's offered by MSM. And you only need to complete them once you get enrolled into the program. So after you receive your application letter and you pay your first part of the tuition fee, then you are officially enrolled, and we send you the link to the preparatory courses. So there are 5 courses in accounting, finance, statistics, economics, and we also have a write and cite academic writing course, because when you will do your case study assignment or individual assignments in the MBA, you will need to use referencing. We have the APA referencing that is always required when doing the assignments. So the reason why we also need preparatory courses in the first place, it's because we have students from different backgrounds and different years of work experience. So then we need to make sure everybody starts with the base knowledge when they start the program. Moving on, there are a few questions that that we didn't answer necessarily as part of this presentation. So we will try to answer them one by one. And just a side note, the questions come from the registration form. When you registered, you had the option to add some questions there. And we can take them one by one. I think, Miriana, the first one is actually a question that you can answer. Why is the MBA named Global Flex Online MBA?
Well, there is a long version, there is a short version. I think I see the time we can have a short one. Anyway, I think it says by itself. Of course, you're global. We have at the moment, I think, 17 students. And of course, we hope the group will grow anyway with the 12 plus nationalities. Flexible, definitely. Although we have a Zoom sessions, they are really there to help you out in comprehending the whole curriculum and to learn, actually, to help you in the process. You're definitely flexible in catching up a number of topics and also reading when you have time. So there is a level of flexibility. Of course, you are able to follow the courses in the flow of 2.5 years. So there is also a flexibility there. And we have some time, unlike the previous, I would say, courses or previous programs, we also have a quite flexible approach for the summer holiday. So during the summers, there is also flexibility of not working. But I think the major part really is in the flexibility in really approaching to the courses on your own time, being able to do a number of synchronous exercises on your own, on the time when you have free, let's say, but also to be guided with the lecture throughout the process. I believe there will be another question connected to me, as I can see. Now, it's how will my diploma look like compared to the full-time MBA? Well, I believe it will be exactly the same, because the fact that we are really following exactly the same curriculum, so all the courses that we teach in the face-to-face here on campus or with the partners are exactly the same, like this one offered in this modality of Global Flex Online MBA. Diploma is the same, so there is nowhere written. That's usually a question. Is there somewhere written that it's online? No, it's not. So it's exactly the same. I think that's also very important to know, that even if you are following the program online, of course, in a longer period in comparison to face-to-face or on campus MBA, because they do it in a year, and here we do it in 2.5, usually. You will have the same assessment, the same assignments, the final assignments. We assess you also on the same way. And the lecturers that are teaching are mostly the same ones that are really teaching in all the other partner, let's say in other MBA programs with our partners, but also here on campus. So we are all mostly engaged in a different modality, so we all can handle, let's say, the online, but also Zoom-based in this case, but also face-to-face program. Now, Alina, I will ask you then a question.
Okay, great.
Do you need to have prior training in business management to undertake an MBA? Yeah, that was one of the questions.
Yeah, you don't need prior training in business management. If you have that, that's also good to bring that experience to the classroom. But normally we do invite people with different backgrounds in the MBA. So the MBA is created specifically for those who want to who are aspiring to become global leaders or entrepreneurs. So then your prior experience doesn't really matter as long as your ambitions are high and you want to learn more about the business environment and expand that international network.
There is another question, and of course, we always have to deal with finances. Unfortunately, it's a part of life. How can MSM support me financially besides scholarship? Is there any possibility?
Yeah, there are some additional ways besides scholarships that we can support. One is to support you in giving employer arguments, so your employer can actually contribute to the tuition fee of the MBA program. So this is a question we get a lot because there are people that are on a leadership career track, so then they are next in line, let's say, to be promoted, and then they need an MBA program to further develop themselves. So then the employer is willing to invest in them. So in that case, we can always help you to, let's say, give those arguments to your employer. An additional way we can support is through installments. So then you can pay your tuition fee in maximum 24 installments. You can decide, you can have, you can pay in quarterly or per semester or yearly, but the maximum you can pay is 24 installments.
Well, it's a very good you're explaining that, because actually I am watching here the Q&A, yeah, because we came to the end of our presentation, let's say, prepared, answered the number of questions we already got. Here, the question is tuition fee paid per course, or is it a lump sum? And then from Christine, and another one from David, if the 28,000 tuition fee split per year, or it's a paid upfront, how that actually looks like. So can you repeat maybe once more, Alina, what are the options, how that process goes?
Yeah, definitely. So we start with 28,500, the full tuition fee, and then you have the opportunity to apply for scholarship. So then if you get maximum of 20% scholarship, then the tuition fee will be less than 28,500. And the final tuition fee that you will pay, normally it's stated when you get your acceptance letter from the board. And that final tuition fee, you can decide if you want to pay it in one go, or if you want to pay it quarterly or every year, or you want to split it in maximum 24 installments.
Okay, so it's like you have ability to spread it throughout the 2 years, actually.
Exactly.
So it will be the monthly payment within 2 years. I think that really helps greatly. I think it's quite, of course, when it comes to finances, it's very important to know how that can be paid in advance. Yeah. I am already, I hope we did answer a question. Of course, if there is something more that you need to know about the finances and also to see how the scholarships look like from MSM, I believe you can go also to previous slides, because I do believe we will share recording and the presentation.
Yes.
So that would be visible, and definitely it's something that you can find on the website.
And normally we do Zoom sessions. So you can send me your CV, and then we can look at what is a, let's say, financial plan that you can.
Okay, so it can be discussed one-on-one, let's say.
Yes, definitely.
That's really nice.
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually. Okay. Now I would go again through this and try to answer some questions myself. In case I couldn't attend the session or the class, is it recorded? No. As I mentioned, we cannot record the sessions. Actually, that's maybe it can be seen as a challenge. On the other hand, we have makeup assignments for in case some of you, we all know it can happen that you're traveling or maybe you're sick or not able to attend the session. If it's more than 25%, we of course add an extra assignment, so to compensate a bit for all the exercises. But so far, I have to say, the students are really appreciating this guided process of learning, and that's something very, so far that I can say as the coordinator of the program. Of course, one of the questions here is from Christine: can one defer the course in case of changes in personal circumstances? Well, life happens, and we all know that. Definitely, there are different ways of deferring a course, or even making a break, or even skipping a number of courses. So we have a certain rules and regulations, and that's of course shared with the students in advance. There is a team behind the scene, and of course officers that are helping the students for each program. For this program, we have officers as well. They are really connected to this particular program, and whenever the student would have a challenge or not able to come to a course, or there are some changes in life, babies are born, that also happens. So we had students also, let's say, parking a couple of courses or making a break and then coming back. Of course, that's all possible. And then we are really trying to make the plan also to tailor it towards the student to see what are the options when they come back. However, there is a process that has to be followed officially to apply for any deferment. But that, of course, it's all discussed on one-on-one per circumstance, let's say. But yes, life indeed happens to all of us, including the students, especially for the period that is a bit longer. There is another question here, also from Christine. I have a background in veterinary medicine, public health, and project management certification. When she saw the foundation or preparatory courses, she wondered whether you are qualified. And you, of course, you can share your CV. I will come just to one example. Well, coming from this type of the background from veterinary medicine, we also have students that are doctors. So we have students that are psychiatrists. We have students coming exactly from this side, let's say from this field. So being eligible, of course, if you have all the diplomas in order, bachelor, etc., we also see that a lot of students are coming from a health, let's say, public health background, and well, definitely you are eligible. However, I cannot say it just bluntly, yes, you are. I think there is a process, of course, to check your CV and to follow the application procedure. But in general, coming from this area, having this type of a background is not anyway any restriction. So we have students from that field. Are there any exemption in terms of professional designations? For example, chartered accountant and chartered global management accountant. When it comes to exception in terms of applying for the program, Alina, maybe you would like to answer that, because I honestly don't know. I know when it comes to courses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't have specific exemptions
Okay.
If you come from a different industry, but depending on your background, you could apply to certain scholarship, let's say, depending on what you previously did. So you can get, let's say, a discount on your tuition fee, but that is case by case basis. And we need to look at it, let's say in a Zoom session or via email. We can always take it outside of the webinar and further discuss.
Okay, I would only add if it's an exemption, because I don't know when it comes to exemption on courses, for example. The only exception can be made if you have already accredited courses or ECTS credits from another MBA program that you stopped maybe and then you want to transfer here, and then there is a procedure to take a look at it. So when it comes to that direction, there might be an exemption, but then we have a board that would decide on that. So there is a prior process. However, being a chartered accountant or a global management accountant, I think we will have to take a look directly. So maybe it would be good to send directly your CV to Alina so she can take a look at it. And if further needed, we can take a look with our board. I would say no, but I again think that we have really a team that is reviewing the CVs, and they would be able to really provide further on explanation. When it comes to skipping the accounting course, no. I think it would be a very easy course for you, but again, if there will be an exemption in general, then probably if the board would allow, then probably there will be a couple of courses that you might skip. But I think that's really something that we will have to take a look on the personal basis. So my suggestion would be, David, to contact Alina directly. The email and everything is shared already, and then to take a look at the case, at your case, individually. Thank you. I hope we did answer your question. I don't know if we have any more open questions from anyone. We're almost an hour, huh? It goes really fast, actually. Maybe, Alina, would you like to come back into sharing the last slides with the information of the contact? That might be also nice to have towards the end when we can close the webinar.
Yes, definitely. So normally, please contact us if you have any questions. We have like a MSM recruitment group email, but normally I handle most of the inquiries. So after this session, we will send the recording, we will send the presentation, and you will have my information, so my email address, and also I normally use like a link to schedule Zoom sessions online. So you will receive all the information after the webinar. If you still have any questions, we have a couple of minutes. If not, we can, you can just contact us after the session.
Okay. Now, as so far, I don't see any more open questions from your side. I hope you did receive sufficient or clear information from our side, also from the process of application, and also, follow up on all the questions from the side of Alina, but also a bit on the program content, on how this looks like, where you would work, who will be maybe in your class. So I hope we did really help you a bit in making your decision, or at least in the process of thinking to start your MBA journey. Believe me, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Of course, moving boundaries, it's always good. We have to challenge ourselves to learn more and to do more. So I think it's a very nice move to go further with your, let's say, education. So we are really welcoming you to join us on our program. And we hope, maybe to see some of you at the beginning in May. Yeah, so we will see how everything will go, of course. Alina is there. I am, of course, there. If there will be any question connected to the content, Alina will forward to me. I will be engaged in the process. So we are here to help you out. And I hope we did clear some fog, let's say, in the process of thinking of where you will enroll and continue. So thank you very much from both my side and from Alina's side. And we hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you so much for joining today. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.